Hi, and welcome back to Your Future, Your Finances. We're continuing our conversation with Chris Beakey, who is author of Fatal Option and advocate and expert on writing here in the D.C. area. We're happy to have him on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being back. We were speaking about the publishing industry, so to speak, and getting the deal, so to speak, if you will, for getting the book published, as opposed to the self-directed route, if you will. So, if you wouldn't mind the summary of the traditional kind.
Yeah. So I've talked a little bit about the traditional route to publishing, which the three things people should know is it takes a long time. You've got to have a great agent who's going to be your advocate, and you may or may not make a profit doing it in terms of what it takes. The other route, which more people are doing nowadays, is self-publishing. It's definitely not the route that I took. It wasn't right for me, but for some people it really is. And self-publishing is typically you write a book, nonfiction, fiction, you actually pay somebody to publish it. And the challenges with that are that most of the companies that do self-publishing, they don't have a distribution network for bookstores and libraries and things like that. On the flip side, we do have Amazon, and there are certainly plenty of success stories from people who have self-published. But I think that people need to go into it with their eyes wide open in terms of, if you want to self-publish because you're just dying to get your work out there and you want the satisfaction of seeing something between covers, go for it. If you want to do it and you want to go into Barnes & Nobles all over the country, that's a little tougher road.
Yeah. So this book is about law enforcement to a certain extent. What's the general synopsis of the book and the interaction with law enforcement that you had?
Yeah, so my book, Fatal Option, is about a really good guy who does a really bad thing for the best possible reason. He gets a call from his daughter in the middle of the night. She's stranded at a house in the mountain, and he goes out to rescue her during a blizzard, the coldest night of the year. And the worst thing that could happen happens. And he's terrified of going to prison, losing his family, so he tries to get away with it. He's kind of an anti-hero in that the readers will care about him, and you almost want him to get away with it. Well, his main foil is a Frederick County Sheriff's County detective, whose job it is to prove that Stephen Porter, my main character, did this. The two men are friends. They have a past history. They're both really good people, both very likable people. So a lot of the tension in the story is, will Stephen get away with this? Will Detective Caruso, nail him for it? And I work in police with my day job, so I have access to a lot of good technical knowledge. And I guarantee you, Brian, before I showed this to anybody, I had 4 of my law enforcement sources read through it very carefully and make sure I got every detail right. It's very important to me.
Yeah. So what do you think of, what do your law enforcement colleagues and friends think of how law enforcement is portrayed in the media and so forth?
You ask them, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to roll their eyes and they're going to say, like, that would really happen. However, almost everybody I know loves cop shows. They really do. I've got a couple friends who have been technical advisors on movie sets, TV sets, and they really do enjoy it. I think that one thing people should remember, and I think people know this, is if you're producing a TV show or a movie, your #1 job is entertainment, right? So if you think that somebody can get out of a car and just, fire 5 shots like that, and it's a great scene, you're going to do it, you're not going to worry that much, like is a cop going to say, well, that would never happen. But a lot of stuff doesn't happen. You can't solve a crime in 2 days or in an hour of TV time.
Right.
So,
yeah. Interesting stuff. And then also you had the opportunity, there is, I believe you said, an autistic character in the story, so I got to research.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with characters in my stories, and the very bad thing that happens in the story happens to an autistic teenager. And I worked around kids my whole life as a tutor and mentor and so forth, and so I know a lot about kids, but I couldn't just sit down and write an autistic character, so I spent a lot of time around autistic teenagers and their folks, their moms and dads, their brothers and sisters, just to get that right. And one of the best things that's happened so far is I had a reviewer who has an autistic son and almost didn't read the book because she thought I was going to get it wrong, and I got it right, and that just, made me feel great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
All right, well, that about wraps it up, but learned a lot about writing and succeeding at writing, and good luck with it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming on the show.
I'm going to sign this and leave it for you.
Appreciate that very much.
Okay, sounds good.
You've been watching Your Future, Your Finances. I'm your host, Brian Kuhn. We'll be right back.